global happenings today. We communicate.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. One of the many reasons why the likes of El-Rufai, Atiku Abubakar, and the likes Rotimi Amechi came together was for one major reason: to see how Nigeria can work. For some persons, it was a case of taking back power. For others, it's a case of trying to see how Nigerians can breathe. Should I say, let the poor breathe? But as all of this is going on, of course, the president of Peter Obi has been very diplomatic in some certain issues, not because he doesn't know what to say, but because he doesn't want to offend some certain persons, even though there are quite a lot of political jobbers who have their personal duty to keep going for him or going against him each time he says what is right. But one of such happens to be the matter of mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You're going to find out what it is he said that is resonating, that all of a sudden that's taking center stage over political issues. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, the coalition of Northern Group CNG has stated that the 2023 Labour Party LP presidential candidate, that's Peter Obi, and other political stakeholders calling for the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, should be labeled terrorists. Now, speaking via a statement released as at some few hours ago by its national coordinator, Jamilu Aliyu Charanchi, the coalition claimed that IPOB's activities have led to the death of 175 security personnel and the destruction of police stations, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC offices, and other public infrastructure. The group accused Peter Obi of prioritizing ethnic interest by choosing to advocate for Kanu's release. CNG warned northern voters against supporting any politician aligning with IPOB, stating that such alliances disregard the suffering of Nigerians affected by the group's actions. Now, the statement reads in part, and I quote, "The demand for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu by Igbo leaders and the elite is not only misguided, but also insensitive to the feelings and aspirations of those who have been affected by the violence and unrest caused by IPOB's activities." Now, this is a troubling development, as Kanu has been responsible for inciting violence and unrest in Nigeria with the blood of innocent Nigerians, particularly from the northern region, where hundreds of lives have been lost as a result of his actions. It is deeply concerning that Peter Obi, a supposed leader, would align himself with someone like Kanu, who has blood on his hands and has caused so much sufferings and division in the country. It is the height of insensitivity and irresponsibility for Obi to ignore the pain and loss that Kanu's action have caused, simply because they share the same ethnicity. The fact that Obi is seeking the vote of Nigerians, including those from the northern region, while advocating for Kanu's release, is a clear indication of his lack of concern for the lives and well-being of fellow northern Nigerian citizens. It is a betrayal of trust and a disregard for the suffering that has been inflicted on innocent people as a result of Kanu's incitement. We call on all northern voters to be wary of politicians like Peter Obi, who are willing to sacrifice the safety and security of their constituents in order to further their own political ambitions. Now, the diabolical scheme planned and exhibited by IPOB with the support of a significant portion of the Igbo elite and leaders, it has a detrimental impact on the unity and stability of Nigeria. The demand for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu is not only unjust, but also counterproductive to the efforts to restore peace and order in the country. Any Igbo leader pleading for the unconditional release of Kanu must henceforth be held as an accomplice and complicit as well. This is interesting. One, let's look at this. Let's look at it in different dimensions. To start with, the person of Peter Obi is not the only person that's been advocating for the release of MNK. Shehu Sani, who's from Southern Kaduna, a former senator, who's also from the north, has always been advocating for the release. Shehu, one of, I think, a medical doctor, who have for a while now have been a strong voice for the north, has also advocated for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They talked about a lot of things. They used the case study of the person of Sunday Igboho, otherwise known as Sunday Adeyemo, who, though was detained somewhere in Benin Republic, but as soon as the emergence of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, days after, I think weeks after, he was released. He's a free man now, so to speak. And also, he agitated for a sovereign state. Now, just fairly recently, that's some days back, as Nnamdi Kanu was brought to court, and I noticed that he was really vexed when, he literally took on Justice Binta Yanko, in fact, he talked about a lot of things that, yes, he has the right, there's enshrined in the Nigerian constitution, really, to agitate for Biafra, which he did. And no one, he said for better understanding of what transpired in court that day, check out playlist. But Peter Obi had been very wary about that statement about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's saga, because he knew if he speaks on it, this is exactly what they will say. And his people are wondering, are you going to be more northerner than southerner? Are you going to deny your people simply because you're looking for a vote from the north? Would you not speak for your brother? Everybody's saying release him. Would you also not put your voice, knowing fully well that Nigerians respect your voice and your voice is powerful? It resonates so much in politics, and at least Nigerian politics. And, he has been trying to play safe, trying to avoid that very sensitive topic of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. But at some point, pressure, somehow he has to make a speech, which he did. Now, for that of Atiku Abubakar, if you notice him very well, and I'm surprised his own people, that's Peter Obi's people, pressurized him to do this, judging the fact that he also have ambition to run for 2027, even though he has not mentioned it. If you watch Atiku Abubakar, when it comes to the issue of Fulani herdsmen and the issue of banditry, he is a bit silent in it. Silent because if he decides to go on condemnation spree, his people will be like, is this how you're going to do it? You have not even entered. You're denying your own people. So sometimes institutions like this, I think silence is golden, because the likes of Urena, if he has said anything more than this, they will come for him. So I would have expected Peter Obi to be, yes, he has been quiet for a long time. He would have just also pretended. But most people have been calling him out. You can't keep pretending that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in detention. So just speak up, whatever. Because he has spoken up, and this is exactly what they're interpreting it. But I believe he's saying that because he probably expects peace to reign in Southeast. But then again, that's my opinion. Yours may differ. Let's put in our comment section what's your take. Let's brainstorm. Do have a nice time. God bless you. Bye.